Hi everyone, it's Fred here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time visiting the channel, a warm welcome. On this channel, I talk about tech, lifestyle, and basically new things that I'm learning and challenges that I'm facing and how I'm overcoming them. So recently, I've started working more with Vue.js and I just thought, why not share something about Vue.js? So in this video, we'll be taking a look at how to build a plugin using Vue.js. Firstly, a plugin in Vue.js is a way of extending functionality of your application. So if you have a particular logic that you want to replicate or you want to use in multiple applications, you can have it available as a plugin. That way you can install it in multiple apps instead of creating the same thing all over again. So to get started creating the plugin, I have my terminal open here. So I would run the command to install a new Vue.js application. And this is basically what it looks like. It's a simple application running Vue.js. Now to start with creating the actual plugin, I would head over to my terminal once more and open the application using Vue.js, using Visual Studio Code. So I bring that here. To start, it's a really good idea to create a separate folder where we can have all the plugins. In this case, we just have one plugin, but if we wanted to have multiple plugins, we could just have it all in one folder. So I would create a folder called plugins. And inside this folder, I would create a file called truncates text.js. So to actually get started, there are a couple of things that we need to be aware of when creating a plugin. One is that the most important is that a plugin exposes a function called install, which allows other applications that are basically consuming or making use of this application to install it. So we would export a default function called install. I would copy the function and paste it here. What is going on here? So we are importing the type from Vue, basically the type, not the actual app. And this is where we actually provide the function body. So we are going to be exposing the function as a global property within the application, which means that it can be used without having to import it all over again. So it would be used as truncate text. So what does the function take? It takes in the text that we want to truncate, the start index and the end index. It's basically just going to do a simple validation. This is not enough, but this is the main part of the function, which is that it's using the native slice method from JavaScript. We are providing the start index and the end index. And what happens with the slice method in JavaScript is that it starts counting the text from the start index, but it does not include the end index. So this is using the same format as a native slice method. So this is basically all about creating the plugin. Now, how do we actually make use of it? So we would need to install the plugin in our application. In this case, it is being created in the same application and installed in the same app, but alternatively, it could just be the plugin and it's exposed as an npm package, so anyone can install it and use it. But in this case, we just keep it simple and install it in the same application and also use it here. So to install the plugin, I would head over to the entry point of the application, in this case, which is main.cs, and I would make a change here. So instead of directly calling the create app function with the component, the entry component app, I would extract it as a function, as a variable. So I will just call it app, so that we would use the use method from Vue to install the plugin that we just created. So we would need to actually import the plugin. So let me use types VS Code import here. So it basically imports the plugin, and it's as simple as that. So in this case, we have the plugin installed, and how do we actually use it? So to test its usage, I would go to one of the components that we already have from Vue. In this case, I will just use the welcome component and just add some text. So let me actually run the app so that we see what this component is all about. I will close the terminal and run the app directly from VS Code. So this is basically what the app looks like on the browser. Now let's try to make a quick change to, let's say we want to truncate this long text and only return this. So I would wrap the entire text in the function. I'll provide it to the function. So the function is called truncates text. It takes the text that you want to truncate, the start index and the end index. So since we want to extract only this, we would provide starting from 0, which is t in this case, and ending at 4. One thing to note here is that because this is using the JavaScript slice method, it does not include the last index. So in this case, we are providing an index of 4, but it would actually start at 0. So it will count 0 as t, 1 as h, 2 as I, 3 as s, and that will be the final result. So the 4th index, which is an empty space here, will not be calculated. So let's see what that looks like on the browser. So as you can see on the browser here, it is returning this with the ellipses attached. Let me zoom in a bit. So this is basically where the function is being used. And that's basically all it takes to create a function that can be exported as a plugin in Vue.js. Further, if we wanted to extend this, we could have it as an npm package and make it available publicly so that anyone can actually install it in the application and use it. I hope you found this really helpful. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications, because I will be creating more content about Vue and other tech topics. See you in the next one.